everyone, it's Holly Marie King, and I am here to do Not a Dream, the Rough Draft, Chapter 2. So let's get started. Chapter 2, A Day with a Demon. Oh, hey Helen, may I have a word with you? Eric asked, poking his head out of his door. Sure, Helen nodded and smiled. She walked in and found herself in a whole other world. His room looked like a forest. Wow, she gasped. Oh, and just to warn you, you don't want to touch anything unless I tell you it's okay. Got it? Eric asked, looking back at Helen. Uh-huh, Helen said, nodding. Say, Eric. Yeah? Eric asked, walking through the corridor. How come all of you have different rooms that seem to be something of a new house to begin with? Helen asked. Oh, that's just because we couldn't stand living together, so we came up with a separate idea of putting a house in each room, but making our home look like a mansion inside and out. Well, unless you want into one of our rooms, Eric answered, walking into her room and ushering Helen to follow. Why isn't my room like that? Helen wanted to know. Well, you could ask Troy, but he wouldn't tell you. However, another reason it is not made that way because it hasn't been used before. So eventually you'll have an ad on it. Depends on how long you'll stay here. Eric sat down and motioned to a chair near him. Please have a seat. We need to talk about something important. Helen sat down. What is it? She asked. Well, the others will not say anything, so I thought you needed to know why you were brought here. I've been wondering that. Eric offered some tea and Helen politely declined. Well, you see all the people in this town? Oh, after we talk, I'll take you outside into the town because the guys asked me to keep you busy. That sounds like you don't want to be around me. Don't worry, I'm enjoying your company, Eric said with a smile. Anyway, the people in this town are all cursed. The humans you see floating around have been mistaken for the one to break that curse. So, do you think that I might be it? Eric nodded. Yes, exactly. Helen laughed heavily. You must be joking. I am no hero, she said between laughs. Well, we shall see, Eric said. So, shall we? He put his arm out. Helen took it. Certainly. Outside in the town, many people rushed about. Helen looked up at the high towers, her head straight up in the air. When do vampires do their shopping? At night. All the shops are open at night by vampires, Eric answered. He then grabbed Helen's elbow. I have to go speak to someone really fast. Will you stay here while I'm gone? Of course. I won't go anywhere until you return, Helen said. Eric smiled and walked into a store. Helen was all for keeping her promise, but when she thought she saw a ghost, she ran for it. Ugh, now I'm lost. This is why you aren't supposed to be scared of everything, Helen. Slapping herself on the forehead as she scolded, she found herself walking towards a shrine. Her feet had carried her here for a reason. She looked at the names, but couldn't read it. The words were in Old English, and she didn't understand it. Walking into the shrine made Helen shiver. Hello? I'm lost, and I really could use someone to show me the way back, Helen hollered. She heard movement in a separate room. Hello? No one was there. It was completely empty. She noticed a painting on one of the walls in that room. Walking closer to it, she noticed it was a couple. The man looked like Troy, and there was a young woman on his arm. The woman had a ring on her finger. It seemed to shine right out of the painting. Helen put her hand on the painting, and the ring felt real. Suddenly, something grabbed her arm. Ah! She screamed, pulling away, but the person did not let go. The young woman jumped out of the painting. Let me go! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to upset you! Helen's heart beat like a jackhammer. Her eyes were wide with fear, and tears were forming. Please, I'll let you rest in peace. I won't disturb you again, I promise. Silence! The woman ordered, but that only made Helen struggle against the woman even more. Please stop screaming. I must have a word with you. It's about Troy. At the mention of the name, Helen froze. Who are you? She asked, looking at the ghost. I am Troy's fiancé, or was anyway, she said. Come, an ornery demon lives here, and if you wake him up, you won't want to come back, and I enjoy having company. Helen smiled. Okay, by the way, my name is Helen. My name is Allison. The ghost led the way out of the shrine, so the two of them sat on the stairs. So, what did you want to tell me about Troy? Yes, well, I just want him to know that I miss him, and that I wish he would come to see me. I know this seems an inappropriate question, but I was wondering, how did you die? I mean, you were obviously not ready to die since you are a ghost. Allison shook her head. Not at all. I was killed by Kat, the werewolf hunter. She murdered me the night before my wedding. My guess is that she was just jealous. Helen, get away from there now! Eric came running towards the two girls. Oh! Helen stood up. She hadn't heard what he had just said. Hi, Eric. This is Allison. Get away from her right now. But why? Helen heard a laugh that wasn't human behind her. You foolish girl. Do you think a restless spirit like myself would be kind? Do you not know how to read? Allison's finger pointed at the sign. That sign warns you of the demons living in this shrine. The man there is just an amateur. Just proves that someone can sink to the bottom and come back up. But little Eric, can you rescue her from me? Helen was grabbed from behind and pulled into the shrine. Ah, Eric, help me! Helen screamed. Fear welled up inside her. She cried and cried, not knowing what to do. The light outside got smaller and smaller. Allison had closed the door. Helen was released and left in the darkness alone. She sat there crying. Try to find your way out, little one. Allison's voice echoed through the chamber. Helen saw a light. Ah! Helen screamed at it and ran. Helen, wait! It's me, Kat. I'm here to help you. Kat hollered. Helen ran into her. Kat hugged the girl close and brought her outside. She then let Helen go and fall to the ground. There you go, Eric. You shouldn't have left her alone. You're lucky she's still human. Well, we can't all walk through walls like you or Troy, Eric yelled. Kat grabbed Helen by her shirt. Listen to me, Helen. I killed Allison because she is the one that did this to all of us. Kat tried explaining herself, but Helen was still shooken up by what had happened. The three people heard the heavy beatings of wings. Kat dropped Helen and disappeared. A dragon came and turned into Francis. What's going on? He demanded. Eric looked over at Francis. We have to bring Helen back to the house. Francis changed back into a dragon. What are you waiting for? Let's go! All right, that's everything for chapter 2. If you guys have any questions about what's going on with the book or anything like that, you can leave a comment in the bottom. And also, I have in the description below that there is a link to where this book is actually published, and you can buy it if you want. And I hope to see you guys soon. All right, have a good day.